At the core of myself as an artist, even though I use text and these big bright colors and abstraction, I really still think of myself as a landscape painter. I always had a relationship to land and nature and being outside, and that's really where my love of painting started.
You go up a little higher, you might be too far over.
I'm Joe Wardwell. I'm a Boston artist, and I'm here in Ogunquit painting a mural on the exterior of the Ogunquit Museum of American Art. I'm an artist generally in the New England area. I paint gallery-sized paintings, I like to say, and then large-scale site-specific murals. A site-specific mural, to me, is a mural project that's designed specifically for a place in a specific environment, and it incorporates that environment inside the design. For example, here at the Ogunquit, in the design, I really tried to use the landscape imagery to come from right around here along Marginal Way, the walks, and then the colors are inspired by sort of a sunrise image looking east with the rocks in silhouette. And then with the text, I'm using the words from Marjorie Agosín's upcoming book, Notes from the Sea, which I really loved how she would talk about her recollections or experiences or her history with growing up on the ocean, but really connect them to larger narratives within her life. And I really love the idea of having some of her lines of the poetry kind of talk about the ocean, but also talk about these larger narratives. For instance, the two lines we've chosen from the back wall is her looking into the blue eyes of her mother. So it's very sea imagery. There's an island, the sea, shipwreck, shores that are all referenced in the text. But she's really talking about looking into her mother's eyes. And I think that when you're here in this experience and you're surrounded by the blue sky and the sea around you, to think about, our personal connections as we get transported through the sea is a really beautiful, poetic moment. With the landscape imagery drawn from the area, the poems drawn from poet working in the area, and then with the abstract part of the design, it takes in some of the architecture of the Ogunquit Museum into its design. So all the layers that go into my work, the text layer, the landscape layer, and the abstraction, all kind of relate to this specific region. So the more that someone stays and sits in front of the piece, hopefully those layers and the connections to the area come out slowly over time. To me, that kind of like sense of wonder when you're kind of overwhelmed visually is a really beautiful moment. And one of the few things that I think that art, oftentimes like landscape, can provide, and kind of jolts us out of what our normal expectations. And I think that's one of the most beautiful things that art can do, is to jolt us out of those normal everyday life experiences. And I hope that by creating these visually dense murals, that they have the opportunity to have that sense of wonder.